And we're live. How you doing, folks? Notice there's a few people in here anyway. Let me get this moved over to where I want it to be so that I can see it more easily and respond to people's queries. How do you do this? Chucky needs to wake up. Okay, there we go. Got it. So it looks like we got a couple of people in here right now. I shouldn't have done that. We are here to open an original tube roll of 1960 D-Lincoln cents. I have the 50 coins here in a tube. I have 50 little placards here with names on them. And this is for each of the people who have pre-purchased coins in this roll. And I have one more. Oh, you know what? Never mind. We're not going to do that because then you'd just be getting a tube. Okay, so got 50 flip inserts here ready to go with flips. Thank you, Penny Parent. Hey, Joe McBride, Jason Patton, how you guys doing? All right, let me go ahead and get started. Art ring. This is going to be a little bit easier to open than a lot of the others. Let me grab my bag real quick. Wherever did I put my bag? Oh, here it is, right here on my desk. There's a snake, it would have bit me. Make sure my bag is empty. And it is. And I'll put my 50 names in there. Shake it up real good. Get that sitting down here. Do you see my shirt? That's right. We don't have mistakes. We only have happy accidents. All right, here we go. I'm going to open up the roll. That was a lot easier than a paper wrapper. And I did wash my hands very well right before this presentation. All right, so for coin number one in the roll will belong to Copper Kingdom. Let's see what Copper Kingdom gets. Of course, this is 1960 Denver Mint. We're looking for repunch mint marks, which we just found one. Here's one with a nice bar running through the center of the mint mark and a nifty little hook down on the left-hand corner, or on the right-hand corner. Let me get these pens out of the way so I can do this without having to worry about making a lot of noise. Okay, now I'm all set up here. Let's take a look and see what we get here. This is a nice little repunchment mark. This is right over here. Oh, and get it in focus. There we go. Now we've got it in focus. Why don't you take a look at that? That's sweetness, folks. I didn't realize the first coin in the roll was a repunch mint mark. I guess I probably could have looked at it because it was facing up. Hello, Maddie. Okay, so this is a nice repunchment mark. This is the very first coin in the roll. Let's get a marker on this so that I can be sure that I know all the coins that belong to the same die. So I think I see a marker already. How about that? Big old long die scratches running north and south through the field. See if we got anything over on Liberty. Yeah, a couple little spots on the coin. It's kind of to be expected. Okay, so we're going to say that we've got a vertical bar running right through the middle of the mint mark. And then we've got a die scratch coming up off the 0 of the date. Those two together will definitely identify that die for us. So let's take a look at the reverse side. On the reverses, I'm not necessarily looking for a whole lot because there's not a whole lot to be seen, but we're looking for the just in case. There could be a double die on some of these that has not yet been discovered. 1960 Denver is not known for double dies. Got a few obverses that are known. The reverse is not so much. All right, here's Copper Kingdom's coin. Let's see. I forgot to clean this part off. Hang on just a second, folks. I get myself ready. I should have done a little better job earlier. Penny Parent. It's no longer morning. It's 12:04 p.m. in the Central Time Zone. But yes, good morning. Okay, so now I've made my spot. Found 1 RPM already, Penny Parent. First coin in the roll was an RPM. Have you take a look at it real quick. You might actually be able to identify this one pretty quickly. Let me get this. There. I've already got it in plastic, but it's got nice die scratches, and it's got a little stump over on the right side, and it's got a vertical line going through the mint mark. Hello, Steve R. Jeff Dunn, Les Wiley, Levels of Madness. Okay, so we've got that. Let's go on to coin number 2. Let's see who gets coin number 2 first. This morning. Well, Copper Kingdom gets that one as well. So, Copper Kingdom gets coin number 2. Let's take a look at it and see what it is. Okay, I had the last one in focus, and then this one suddenly out of focus. Okay, let's take a look around and see what we got. Does not appear to be a mint mark variety. Does not appear. Hang on a second here. There we go. It's not a doubled die. It's not a doubled eyelid. Let's look at the reverse side. Yeah, I don't see anything on this side either. Okay, so we have a normal coin. Well, it's kind of to be expected once in a while. I mean, not everything turns out to be a die variety, right? All right, now for Copper Kingdom's coin. Yeah, we're coin number 3. Coin number 3 will belong to Mr. Elliott. Let's take a look at Mr. Elliott's coin. See what we've got. That is a filled 9. Nice sized die break in the 9. But I'm not seeing any die variety to go with it yet. And we indeed have nothing on this side. Let's take the reverse and see what we have over here. If we have a happy little die variety on this side. And it appears to be nothing yet. What is that on the TE? Looks like there's something up high on the TE there. Let's take a good look at it. Frank Coin Dragon. How you doing, buddy? No, that's reflections off the rim from the lighting. Okay, so we've got nothing on coin number 3, and this is Mr. Elliott's coin. Let's look at coin number 4. First of all, let's see who's it going to belong to. And this coin belongs to Benjamin Marler. Mr. Marler. Let's take a look at your coin. See what we got here. Is it anything? Yeah, it could be. Looks like it is. Oh yeah, that's an RPM. That's an RPM to the north right there. There we go. That's pretty nice too. I don't know which one this is. Appears it could be 19. Could be 19. Not sure. Penny Parent. Penny Parent can help with these. Just got a spur coming straight up out of the vertical. A little bit close to the date. Equidistant to the 9 and 6. Breaks the plane at the bottom. Nice one. Oh, Penny Parent doesn't have Coppercoins up. She's falling down on the job. That is a nice RPM. All right, let's get a marker on this to be sure the next one we see is from the same die. Is that a crack or a scratch or something coming up out of the T of trust? Or of liberty, not trust. Let's see what else I can find that works. That is concave into the coin. So that's not going to be a marker. Ah, here we go. Some little die scratches up by the E of we. I can see those. Let's see, do we have anything else on the obverse? Ah, look, there's a die scratch coming straight out of the throat. Straight out of the throat, and it's pointed to the 9 of the date. So we can use that. That's a decent marker. So this is number 34, huh, Art? All right. So probable, number 34, very likely number 34. Got a stain on the back. Or no, it's not a stain, it's a spot. It's a carbon spot. Got a few carbon spots on this coin. If you back up and you take a look at the coin, just take a look at it. It's a really nice, bright luster coin. So hopefully those spots don't detract from it too much. 1919S with a rim cud. Filled devices and some clashing. That is unusual because 1919S was not a very high mintage year. And, well, I doubt they used a whole lot of different dies that year. So Benjamin Marler gets that one. RPM number 34 as it would appear. Oh, Benjamin Marler gets the next coin too. Let's see what's on the next coin. We have another RPM. This one appears to be, is it the, yeah, it's the same die. RPM 34, I guess. This one's a little bit sharper than the last one was. But you can see that spike coming straight up out of the D-mint mark. And then you can see the die scratch that we decided to use as a marker right there, coming straight out of the throat, pointed to the 9 of the date. So, well, this one is a little browned up a little bit. Looks like somebody was eating a chocolate bar when they stuck this one in the tube. But it's another example of the same repunchment mark we just ran into. So I don't expect anything on the reverse here. So there's another example of that RPM. Oh, here, take a look. Penny Parent. You see my shirt? All right. Let's see. What am I doing here? I need to put that coin back until I grab a name. And a grain. See. Steve looking for silver. Steve looking for silver gets this one. Let's see what it is. What do we have here? Oh, it's another one. Yep, same die again. 3 in a row. Nice little repunchment mark going on here. Well, this is going to make quick work of this roll. If we keep running into RPMs that are like this, they're going to be easy to attribute, easy to find. There's another marker for you. Heavy die scratch between the E and the top of the cornice. And it also actually runs into the last bay. You can see it all the way down there. Let's see if it keeps going. Nope. Sort of, kind of, but not. No double die on this side. So we'll move on to the next coin. Well, thank you, confrontational nonconformist. So I wouldn't want to call you a conformist. That would be the opposite. I'm a nonconformist too. I march to the beat of my own drum. Definitely. All right, let's see the next one here. Wild Bill. Wild Bill gets the next one. Let's see what we got for coin number 7. Well, it's not another one of those RPMs, but it does appear to be an RPM. This one looks like one in the 90s, I think. Somewhere in the 90s, maybe. Let's get up really close to it. Yeah, see, we have a little hump on the top of the mint mark. And I'm not talking about that little spiky looking thing. I'm talking about a hump. There's actually a hump on the top of the mint mark. You can see that the top of the mint mark is misshapen a little. So I have to definitely take a much closer look at this one. I do believe this is a listed RPM. All right, so let me back out on this. Everybody's favorite dog is laying down making his space next to me. You can see him back there in the background right behind me. You gonna lay down? Great days indeed. Great days indeed. A happy little dog lives right behind me. Let's see if we can find us a good marker here. Well, that appears to be markers, I think. Are those actually sticking out of the coin? If they are, they're super markers. Let's see what we got going on here. No, those are actually sunken into the coin. Those are actually scratches and little puck marks. All right, so let me back out and see if we can find a good marker, an actual marker, something we can use to identify other coins from this die. It's as important as finding the die varieties to know when you've run into duplicate die varieties, especially when you're going through an original roll. And you're hoping that you're going to find at least a few duplicates in there to let you know that your roll is original. That appears to be a die scratch in the field below Liberty, but man, that's hard to see. Let's see here. Well, I'd like to say that I'm easily coming up with a nice marker on this one, but it's just not happening. So we'll just have to remember that we have a hump on the top of the mint mark, and we have a what appears to be a little die scratch or die gouge coming up out of the top of the D. I'll have to try to remember it that way. And let's take a look at the reverse on this one and see what we've got. Well, we have a not double die at all. Appears to be a normal 1960D Lincoln cent on the reverse. So I will put this to the side. And so far, out of 7 coins, we have 5 RPMs. Told you these were loaded. These rolls were meant for this purpose. Tell you what. Hello, Blues. Let's see. Mr. Hampton. Mr. Hampton will take coin number 8. And coin number 8 is... We're going to call this RPM number 34 at the time being because Art identified it as RPM 34. Of course, we're going to look at it again to be sure, but nice little die scratch coming straight out of the throat pointed toward the 9 of the date, and then you've got that little spike up on the top of the D headed straight north between the 1 and the 9. That, folks, is a repunch mint mark. So we already know the rest of this die. Let's take a look at the reverse. And on the reverse, we see that big giant die scratch from the E down through the last bay. So we once again have another example of this die variety. And there we go. So this one belongs to Mr. Hampton. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 of those that we've found so far in this roll. Let's see who gets the next coin. Next coin will belong to Mr. Hampton. what do you know? Just drew his name again. Let's see if we can get him a different RPM this time. Hey. Let me move this to the other side of my little placard here. There we go. Make it a little easier to see. Well, what I'm seeing on the bottom of this appears to be a little bit of machine doubling. But what I'm seeing on the top appears could be a hump. But man, this is really, really minor, if it is anything. So we're going to call this a nothing for now. When I go back through, I'll take a much closer look at it, study it a little bit, and let you guys know what I found. And we've got nothing going on this side, as is generally expected from 1960 D-Lincoln cents. So I stick this in the holder, happy little holder. I'll put it in this nice little pile and grab another name for coin number 10. Coin number 10 will go to Steve Elliott, and Mr. Elliott gets a well, it's interesting. See, I can see what appears to be a little hump on the top of the mint mark there again. This could just be a normal thing for the punch that day? I don't know. So it looks like I'm running into a lot of little humps on the top of the mint marks. All right, we'll have to take a better, closer look at that one later. It appears to be struck through on the rim. Is that a no, it's not a struck through. That's damage. Damage to the rim. I could tell because the rim actually pokes out. The coin is not perfectly round. There we go. So you can see that. That's how I know it's damaged, because it actually pushed out the edge of the coin. If that had happened during the strike, the collar would have held it in place. Well, and the metal from the dent would not have been able to go to the side like that. Let's see what else we've got. Hey, Paula. Good morning to you out there in the fresh Oregon air. It's a nice crispy 60 degrees here in Cary, North Carolina today. It's a little bit chilly. It'll get warmer during the day as things progress, I'm sure. All right, Mr. Elliott gets coin number 10. And coin number 11 will go to Copper Kingdom. Let's see what Copper Kingdom comes out with. Looks like, yep, we got another RPM number 34. Or presumably RPM number 34 for now. Oh, forgot to shut my messenger off. Should just leave it on during one show and show you guys how many messages I see. All right, Copper Kingdom gets another nice RPM. Did he already get one of those? No, that's his first one of those. This is Benjamin Marley got 2. Steve Looking for Silver got 1. Paul Hampton got 1. And now, Copper Kingdom has one of them. So let's draw for the next coin and see what happens. We have Greg McCoy. Mr. McCoy, let's see what we get for you. Come up with out of here. Does that... that's the... okay, I'm going to have to shut this down. Sorry, folks. Hang on just a moment. There we go. Okay. Can't do the sound. Sound effects we don't need. Let's see what we've got going on here. Okay, we just have the die break in the 9. I don't see anything else on this one. Not yet, anyway. Keep looking. There's a little bit of a spotty coin. Paula needs more coffee. It's in the carafe on the left side of the counter. The pot on the right side's cold. All right. Yeah, we got a die chip in the 9 of the date on that one. Let's see what we've got coming up next. We are going to open Benjamin Marler. Let's see what we got for Benjamin Marler. Oh, we got, yep, this is another one of those 34s, I do believe. Let me see. No, maybe not. This is, something different. Not sure what it is, though. Let's see. Let me zoom in on this one, see what we can see up close. See what I'm seeing here? It looks like a really faint line running north and south from above the mint mark to the middle of the mint mark. Kind of hard to tell, and it has just a little tiny hump on the top of the mint mark, too. Unsure about this one. I'm kind of thinking not an RPM now that I'm getting a better, closer look at it. Because I can't really turn it to make it stand out real well. Got a couple of die scratches there right below the 9 of the date. Okay, so for now, I think what we're going to do is just call this one a probably not. Let's call it a probably not. And keep moving through the roll. Get this focus back in just right. And we'll see what else we see. Okay, there's nothing there. Nothing there. No double eyelid. Now let me take a look at the reverse. And I get nothing on the reverse. Nothing I can see anyway. Okay. I'm mostly looking at the outer lettering on the reverse because we're expecting either Class 2 or Class 6 generally. A Class 2 or a Class 6 double die reverse is going to show us either extra thickness in the outer devices being letters and numbers, or it's going to be an actual separation line. Here's Mr. McCoy. And Mr. McCoy comes out with, appears to be a normal coin here. Take a look at the rest of things and see. Flip it over to the other side. Let's see what we got. Okay, got nothing there. Another normal coin. Let's find out who gets coin number 15. Coin number 15, Steve looking for silver. Let's see what Steve looking for silver gets. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. I don't see anything here. See a lot of die scratches. I do not yet see an RPM though. Looks like that's going to be a no. Whose birthday is it? Frank, who's Linda? Is that your wife? Frank's better half. Oh my gosh. We gotta throw a party. Linda, happy birthday. Sorry, Steve looking for silver got coin number 15. Let's take a look. Or his better 3/4. Steve looking for silver gets the next one as well. let's take a look at what we find on his coin. Nothing pops out on this one. Later die-state coin, that's why the lettering around the rim. It's that little ridge line that you get right around the rim. It's a lot worse on zinc cents, but it happens on these older copper coins too. Well, I hope you enjoy your break, Hector. Dog is sitting back there snoring, making me tired. Good gosh. Snore, snore, snore. All right, coin number 16 out of the way. Now coin number 17. Coin number 17 goes to Benjamin Marler. Well, let's see what Benjamin Marler gets. Let's see. It appears to be another RPM here. Looks like we have a line running right through the middle of the mint mark, and it's not the same as the first coin in the roll. So this is a different die. Let me get it focused in real quick here. There we go. Oh, that's closer. Okay, it looks like we probably don't have split serifs. So it's just a D over D east. It does look like we could have a little bit of a hook. I think we may have a little bit of a hook on the right hand side. We do. It's a small hook on the right hand side. So there we go. This one, something tells me number 38, something like that. I think so. I think number 38 maybe. Maybe. I'm not that good with these. No, Penny Parent can tell you in her sleep what these are. She's being modest right now. I'll take a look at the other side of the coin. I'm going to have to zoom back out here. There we go. And we got nothing going on this side, as would be generally expected. Okay, so as Benjamin Marler got himself a nice RPM there. This is yet another different RPM, so we're up to 4 different RPMs now. 4 different RPMs in the roll, and the next coin goes to Singjay. Let's see what Singjay gets. Singjay gets, it looks like this one could be one with a minor hump at the top there. Could be. Let's see. What am I looking for? A depression at right eve. Is that on the one I just looked at? Because I'll go back to it. We can look for a depression and see what we see. There's no depression here on this one, though. This one is a normal coin, as it appears. It could have a little hump. Oh, wait a minute. What are we looking at there? Yeah, so far I'm going to go with normal coin on this one. I may eventually see this as something different, but coin number 18 right now we will call a normal coin belonging to Singjay. Now, depression at right eve. Are we talking about this guy? Let's see what we end up with. There is a depression at the right eve. There's also a die crack on column 12. No crack on column 1 or 2. And we do have a depression at the right eave. You have a die number for me? Deanne gets the next coin. Let's see what Deanne gets for her first involvement in the roll reveals. It looks like if it's going to be anything, it's going to be another one of those ones with a little hump on the top of the mint mark, because I don't really see anything else on this. It could be a minor RPM. I'm going to have to let you know when I get finished with this process. You're looking at Vam World. I got to reel you back in. You're getting lost. God, I got goosebumps. Vam World. Just not gonna go there. All right, Steve looking for silver. Let's see what we find for you. Next coin in the roll, coin number 20. Now serving number 20. Oh, what do we have here? Is it anything? Doesn't necessarily appear to be anything. See nothing up there. Nothing going on in Liberty. No eyelid, no trust. Nothing on the reverse side. Well, we're starting to even out just a little bit better between die varieties and non-die varieties in the roll. Looks like we're getting quite a number of non-varieties of late. We've got 12 out of 20 coins. That's 60%. 60% normal. I just picked this coin up and I didn't mean to. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and draw the name. I'm going to put Joe McBride on there. Joe McBride's coin comes next. And let's see what Mr. McBride got. But if you put it back in focus, Chuck. Thank you, sir. I think I'm seeing nothing. Unless, yeah, this is that same RPM that I pulled before. I didn't happen to get a marker off of it last time, so I'm going to try it again. You can see a vertical line coming through the mint mark, and then there's just ever so much of a faint of a hint of a hook coming out of the right side of the mint mark. So let's try to find us a good marker to use with this one. Murphy's Law tells me that we're not going to find a marker because we're looking for one. You get all kinds of markers when you're not looking for them. Okay, this one has old die scratches paralleling the front of the vest. Between the one and the front of the vest, you can see them there. Slightly darker line with a slightly lighter edge below. So that's what we're going to use as a marker for this. There, you can see them a little bit better in that light. Right there. Okay. So we're going to use that as a marker for this particular die. And I'm going to check this other coin and make sure it matches by markers. This coin of Mr. Marlar's, we need to check that same marker area and see that we have the same thing, because it is, I do believe, the same die. Yeah, it is. I can see the die scratch there without having to. See an old heavy die scratch just between the one and the vest. See if I can get a better look at it from this angle. There it is. You also have a die scratch coming southeast out of the 9 of the date. Okay, so we know that is the same die. So let's do a little recap. So far we have a vertical line through the mint mark and then a nice east hook. We have a nice straight line coming straight up out of the top of the mint mark. Art Ring says is our RPM number 34. Then we have a Wild Bill coin, which has a little hump at the top of the mint mark that I'm going to take another look at. And there are probably other examples of that same RPM in this roll, if they are indeed RPMs. And then we have the one we just saw, which has a vertical line and it's in an older die state. And it is, oh, damn, look at that. It's laid that down. That's pretty. Can you see it? You can see an entire D just to the north. Here, let me zoom in on that. Bam. Oh, that is nice. What is that? Number 16? Can you see it there? You can see an entire D just to the north of the primary D mint mark. Let's see what we've got here. This is Benjamin Marler's here. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's sweet. Is that a 16 or a 13? It might be 13. That's 16. Okay. I had it right the first time. I should have shut up when I looked smart. All right, let's see. Zoom out on this. So we've got RPM number 16 out of this roll, too. Can you say sweet? RPM number 16 is a very well-known RPM and has no double die, obverse or reverse. So we're just checking to be sure that the records stand as noted. And it does. So Benjamin Marler gets a nice RPM number 16, and that makes the 5th different RPM out of this roll. Which makes it like really sweet. Because I like rolls that are just packed full of RPMs. All right, then. Who gets the next coin? Wow, Bill. I was just reading your comment where you said wow. And I pull your name out of the bag. Am I just Margic or what? Okay, or what? This is that first RPM that I pulled out of the roll. It's got a nice little hook to the east. And it's got a line going straight down the middle of the RPM. So it is a nice RPM. Unfortunately, we do have some fingerprinting going on in this coin. This is an original roll, but it's not a bank wrapped roll. So who knows exactly what has happened to the contents of the roll prior to my having handled them here. But this is still a nice RPM. A little spot on the reverse there. Oh. It's Sherman enjoying his 1 o'clock nap. I do have another roll reveal coming up at 5 p.m. Eastern Time today. 5 p.m. Eastern Time today, we'll be doing a 1950 Denver roll. Well, I don't think it could be a stash tube simply because these things are coming obverse, reverse, obverse, obverse, reverse, reverse like that. And there are a number of normal coins in this roll as well as a number of RPMs in this roll. So to me, I'm seeing all the signs of an original roll. Looks like we end up with a normal coin here. See, if this was somebody's die variety stash, then there wouldn't be normal coins coming out of the roll. That plus I happen to know the source where these came from, and I got probably 12 or 15 1960D rolls that all had the same label and the same handwriting on the top of the roll, and I know that all of them were original rolls. Next will be Mr. McCoy. Let's take a look at Mr. McCoy's coin real quick. See what we get. And I'm seeing nothing on this one. Looking at that eye. I'm eyeballing the eyeball. I don't see anything there. I thought maybe I saw something there for just a little while, but, well, I was wrong. If I hadn't said anything, you'd never know it. What's that they say? Better to sit there quietly looking stupid than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. It's okay, folks. You can't hurt me. I have my Bob Ross t-shirt on. Next, Cent Hoarder. Mr. Cent Hoarder. Let's see what Mr. Cent Hoarder comes out of this with. Well, so far, it appears to be normal. I do have some rather exciting news for everybody. This morning I finalized the deal on a large hoard of cent rolls. So I will be traveling again to pick up a number of cent rolls. Looks like this time it's going to be in Florida. So I have to drive back down to Florida. Hawkeye. Hawkeye gets the next one. Oops, get this typed up. There we go. Let's see what Hawkeye comes out with. Not seeing anything there. I may have skipped over a couple of minor doubled eyelids that I'll catch later. It's the lighting with this particular scope makes them difficult to see. But my other scope brings them right out. See them without a problem. Alright. That was a normal coin. Let's see who gets the next one. That'll be coin number 28. Coin number 28 will go to Deanne. Cross our fingers for Deanne. What do we see? I have no idea, Marley. I don't know. Levels of Madness, not Gainesville, thank you. I've already bought Gainesville's rolls. These are coming from the Fort Pierce area. Atlantic coast. Okay, I see nothing on this one. Unfortunately so. So Deanne gets a normal coin out of this. Number 28. Coin number 29 will go to Mr. McCoy. Let's see what Mr. McCoy comes out with. Bam, another RPM. This is another example of that first RPM that I pulled. Another example of the first RPM of the roll. I wish I could remember what my marker was for this. Or was this? No, this was for the first RPM. And I think I used the die scratches running north and south. Oh yeah, it was that long die scratch coming up out of the 0 of the date. That's what I used for a marker for this one. So what this is, Mr. McCoy gets a nice RPM. I'll put this in the stack with the rest of them. Thank you, Marley. Wild Bill gets the next one. Okay, see, from that angle right there, I can see a little hump on the top of the mint mark. It looks like it's just a little tall. That tells me that I'm continually seeing the same little anomaly, which could be a part of a punch issue, or it could be an actual RPM. I'll just have to look at it. If it is an RPM, it's a rather minor one. If it's not already listed, I probably would not be inclined to continue listing one. That's almost too minor to see. That is my dog snoring. Just in case you were wondering, that is my dog. My lovable, wonderful bulldog. Next coin, Copper Kingdom. Let's see what Copper Kingdom ends up with. I can see that hump again, right there on the top of the mint mark. You can't see him in the background today. You see him over there now? Ah, my little weirdo. Let me put this back where it belongs. There we go. Back on my Bob Ross shirt. No mistakes, just happy accidents. All right. Okay, what could possibly be an RPM? Could possibly, but I will find out more as I go through this roll again this afternoon, looking to attribute the different die varieties in it and check to be sure that I didn't miss any. Because with this scope and this lighting, sometimes I do miss things. There we go, and Steve Elliott gets the next coin. Steve Elliott gets this happy little coin right here. See, you see that hump on the top of the RPM, on the top of the mint mark again. I just keep thinking that I'm looking at like RPM number 91. I think it was 91. Ah, Sir Snores a Lot is not finished. He just flipped over and now he's going to go back to sleep. But I don't think he's going to snore nearly as bad because his throat is stretched out this time. Usually when he's got his head tilted way back, he doesn't snore as much. All right, next coin. Mr. McBride. Joe McBride. Let's see what you get, buddy. Oh, got one of those ones that's got all the little die scratches, and then it's got the die break in the upper 9 of the date, and nothing else. A few spots here and there. Okay. Number 34. Midnight Silver Run. Let's see what we got for you. Oh, look at that. It's another RPM number 16. There. Sweet. RPM number 16. Pretty decent shape. Nice north RPM. Check the reverse real quick. It never, ever hurts. You just never know what you could end up finding that nobody else ever really knew about, simply because you do your due diligence and you look. All right, so that's the second one of those. Well, hello, NoCo Silver. All right. Scent Hoarder gets the next one. I was just trying to figure out what NoCo meant. Probably North Colorado. So I'm wondering if maybe that's right. North Colorado Silver. This is going to be the presumably RPM number 34 again, because we have that die scratch coming out of the throat headed to the 9 of the date. And we also have a spike coming straight up out of the top of the mint mark. So there we have it. I got it right. NoCo means Northern Colorado. Was that Fort Collins? Greeley? Longmont? Vail? All right, Scent Hoarder gets this one. Do I not have decent marker photos for the number 16? All right, Scent Hoarder again. Scent Hoarder's next coin. Oh, there's the first RPM I was opening up out of this roll. Once again, this is what was on coin number 1. Nice little East RPM with a stiff little block coming out the right side. All right. Got ourselves a nice little RPM going on here. Hello, Carlos Uncle. Here's an interesting one for you. My name is Chuck, which is also Charles, which in Spanish is Carlos. I had a great uncle. His name was Carlos. But my great uncle, Carlos, had nothing to do with my name. Because my great uncle, Carlos, was my mother's uncle. And my name comes from my father's dad. So there you go. It's a little load of confusion for you. And Copper Kingdom gets the next coin. Let's see what Copper Kingdom comes out with. Well, we do have a happy little coin. Looks like it's had a little bit of damage in its days. But we don't have an RPM. And it appears as though we don't have. So die number 13 doesn't have die marker photos. It should. I have a 13 around here. I'll just see what I can do about that. Take a look at the obverse of this one just one more time. Okay. I'm satisfied. Satisfied this is a normal coin. And we move on to coin number 38. Who gets coin number 38? That will be Mr. McBride. Mr. McBride has had some decent luck with this roll so far. And I jinxed it, didn't I? Shouldn't have done that. Okay. So next time I'll know. Don't jinx people by saying they've had good luck. Because, well, for some people, If it weren't for bad luck, they'd have no luck at all. Let's see. Get on the reverse here. Well, we've got live chat on, and there's not very much of anything happening right now. We need to find us a good die variety. Pick up that chat. Pick up the chat line and give us a call. Oh, that was Joe McBride's coin right there. Hawkeye. Maybe I should do a... I don't know, maybe I should do a show. Like a live radio show. Where you call in. We have a Stump the Curmudgeon session. Where you try to stump me with a coin question. Penny Parent, you wash your hands real good when you get done with that nasty silver. Stuff's proven harmful. Silver it is. Dangerous stuff. Just nasty. All right. Coin number 40. Coin number 40 will belong to Sing J. Sing J, this coin is for you, Mr. Hawaii. Aloha. Kali Malikiaka, or however they say that. Kala Malikilaka, Kala Malikiaka. How do you say hey, Merry Christmas? Don't remember. I'm certainly no expert in Hawaiian language, that's for sure. I do know they only use, like, what is it, 16 letters or something like that? It's like I don't think they have a T at all. Oh, well, Blues, you're just attributing a bag of gold coins you dug up in your backyard. Those things are dirty. You should get rid of them. Throw them out, man. Go get yourself a bag of pennies. There's one good thing about pennies. They don't have drugs on them. Because the cartels, they don't even mess with pennies. You gotta have dollar bills for that. They got drugs on them. Yeah, I heard somewhere where some majority of United States currency, if you were to actually test it molecularly, you would find drugs on a majority of United States currency. That makes me feel good. Debit card, here I come. No more cash for me. All right, Mr. Hampton, you going to take the gold coins to the Coinstar? It's going to spit them back out at you because it doesn't know what they are. If I had a Coinstar, I'd design it so that if I had reject coins, they'd go into a dump in the bowels of the machine. That way, if you dropped your silver in there, the only thing that would come back out is bent and marred up and mauled up coins. Anything that was decent came straight down to the bottom pit. I'll pick it up later. All your underweight coins, which are clip planchets. All your coins with cuds and other stuff like that. I'd just read them all out and I'd stick them in that little thing at the bottom. Gold coins. Yeah, throw your gold coins in there and see what happens. You're not going to get credit for them, but hey, you throw them in the machine. You're dumb enough to throw them in the machine. You're dumb enough to lose them, right? All right. Coin number 43 will go to Matting. Hopefully Matting's still around. Is Matting still around? Earth Calling Matting. Serving number 43. And this is, well, it's one of those ones with a little hump at the top of the mint mark again. I'm thinking that we may have a listed die variety here, but I'm not sure. And nothing on that side. Oh, this was a roll ender. Being that this was a roll ender, we have a lot of toning on the reverse side. That's what we get when we get a tubed roll. Tubed original rolls will sometimes come out with roll enders in the center of the tube. But this one's got some pretty colors on it. Nice color. It's got a little bit of rolling wheel rubber. Basically a skid mark from a rolling wheel. That is a pretty coin. That's got some pretty colors. Let's see if we can pick up on the colors. Let's see if this one does it. Well, my cameras don't focus well at all. No focus. Oh, I tell you what. Let's try this. This might actually work. I'm going to take my cell phone and I'm going to take a picture of it. And then after I get the picture, I can bring the picture up right here on my cell phone, and then I can show it to you. Oops. Like that. That's what that coin looks like. A lot of pretty colors. A lot of pretty colors. That one belongs to matting. So, coin number 43, the end roll coin, for one reason or another, goes to matting. Next coin in the roll will go to matting. What do you know? Matting also gets this one. What is it? It is normal coin as it appears. It looks normal to me. Let's see here. Nothing on that one. I bet you NoCo Silver out there, you've got snow, don't you? They're getting snow in Iowa, too. I know that. No snow in North Carolina. It's just not cold enough. Nowhere near it. There's Mr. Elliott. What does Mr. Elliott get? Yeah. Does it have... No, it doesn't. I don't think this has a vertical bar inside the mint mark. So for the time being, we're going to assume this one is normal. And keep moving. Majestic Sounds of Coins. We do have some decent finds in here. We've got some nice RPMs out of this. There's 5 different RPMs in this roll so far. And we've got, 4 coins left? That is coin number 45 for Steve Elliott. Coin number 46 will go to Patches of Snow. Steve looking for silver. That means it's been below freezing, which is about 25 degrees too cold for me. Don't have anything going on there. It looks like another one of those little hump RPMs, but man, I've got to really take a good close look at that, because if I did find one, there's got to be at least 10 of them in here. Nothing on that side. So Steve looking for silver. I think he's already got a couple of RPMs in here, but this one turns out to be a normal coin. Well, coin number 47. Coin number 47 will belong to Deanne. Let's see what we can get Deanne out of here. Let's see what we can come up with. This is one of the presumed RPM number 34. See that spike coming straight up out of the top of the D? I noticed that kind of first, but then I also noticed the die scratch that we're using as our marker right here. It comes straight out of the throat pointed toward the 9 of the date. So we know this side. Don't really need to look thoroughly at it anyway. And take a look at the other side. The reason I keep looking, even though I know what the die is, that doesn't mean that there's not a striking error or a planchet error of some sort on the same coin. So I've seen RPMs that have broken planchet. I've seen RPMs that have all kinds of stuff. So we're just being sure. All right, Deanne gets added to the pile of people who now have one of those RPMs. Pile of people. Steve Elliott. Let's see what we can find for Steve Elliott. We have 3 coins left in this roll. T-minus 3 coins and counting. Main engine sequence start. Looks like nothing. It looks like a Nama coin. I'm a weirdo. My wife says I'm a weirdo. Sometimes sitting at dinner, I'll just start talking like a mana. Gonna get me another beer. All right, coin number 49. Coin number 49 belongs to Wild Bill. Let's see what Wild Bill gets. Wild Bill gets an RPM. Another RPM that's the same as the first RPM that I was finding in this roll. And there it is in all its infinite glory. Awesome. And on this one I should find it's a long die scratch, I think I remember. Oh yeah, it was coming up out of the 0 of the date. Let's go check for it. There it is. That's it. You're 6 minutes behind on the video. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell your future. In 6 minutes, this is going to be over. Because we're on coin number 50. Bum, 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 the big drum roll, and the last coin goes to Midnight Silver Run. What does Midnight Silver Run get with this last coin in the roll? He gets another one that has a little hump on the top of the top of the mint mark. Given that there's a little hump on the top of the mint mark, I'm going to say that the rest of the coin is probably completely normal. I was watching a guy's auction last night, and he was trying as hard as he could to be an auctioneer. It just didn't sound right. Just didn't sound right. I'm glad I do it the way I do it. Well, there we have it. All right, folks, we're done with this roll. And it is now 2:13 p.m. Eastern Time on the 7th of November, 2019. It is Thursday afternoon. Here are the coins that so far I have decided are probably going to turn out to be nothing. This is our first RPM found out of the roll. We've got Wild Bill, Scent Hoarder, Mr. McCoy, Wild Bill, and Copper Kingdom. That was a nice vertical bar with an east hook. And this is the presumed RPM number 34. Deanne, Scent Hoarder, Copper Kingdom, Mr. Hempton, Steve Looking for Silver, Benjamin Marlar, and Benjamin Marlar. And this is an example of one of the hump top RPMs for me to take a look at and make sure that I do or don't have anything. So that's Wild Bill. Then I've got a Benjamin Marlar and a Joe McBride who each got, I think this is the second East. Yeah, this is the second East RPM. And this one would be the one that had earlier die state markers and did not have It is a later dice date coin. This is the one that the vertical bar in the center of the mint marker is a little more difficult to see. But it is definitely there. And then we have the star of the show. The star of the show, Benjamin Marler got one, and Midnight Silver Run got one. They're RPM number 16. And RPM number 16 is this cute little thing right here. Let me get focused in on it. There you go. I put it upside down so the lighting shows it better. You can see an entire secondary D to the north, half of it outside the top of the mint mark and half of it in the middle of the mint mark. And this is what we got out of this particular roll. Has Matting Matting hasn't gotten anything out of any of the rolls? None of them that we've done so far have Matting found anything in? Really? Well, that's not good. Didn't get one out of this one. How many spots did you have, Matting? Levels of Madness. I can't remember whether it's a D over D over D or just two Ds. Was a maybe on a DDR. And the maybe on the DDR was what, the 1963 roll? You got two there. How many spots did you get in this roll, Matting? Looks like you only got two spots. Okay, two spots. Well, hello, Reverend David. I'm glad to see you show up. Okay. Well, two spots, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we're looking at about 42%. 42% for two coins. You'd have to have a 50-50 or better to even have a shot with two coins, I would think, on average. So with a roll that's going to be half RPMs, I would say you'd have to buy 3 coins in the roll to be sure that you're going to have a good chance at getting an RPM. I'm checking my bag to see, make sure it's empty. Nothing up my sleeve. Presto. Presto. Sound like, well, I'm going to show my age here. Bullwinkle. Bullwinkle and Rocky. Hey, Rocky. Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat. All right, folks. Ow, got that. Penny Parent. You're still a kid. Blues is old like me. We're both crusty. We remember. He'd pull a... Oh, geez. He'd pull a lion. He'd pull a... what did he do? Pulled a rhinoceros out one time. I was always waiting for him to actually pull the rabbit, and it never happened. Fractured Fairy Tales. I don't think I remember that. I remember watching The Electric Company when it had Morgan Freeman on it. Yep, believe it or not, Electric Company had Morgan Freeman. And now he's known as one of the best voices in America. I kind of wonder what's up with James Earl Jones. I haven't heard him do anything in a long time now. Loved his voice. The 72D rolls did have the DDR number 1 in them. All right, awesome. I may open a roll, just one roll, just to see if I get any out of it. We'll have to see. Got your package yesterday. Awesome. Cool. Very nice. Most people should have gotten their packages yesterday or will get them today. I do have this roll reveal, and then I've got another one coming up at 5 p.m. It's 2:20 now. Another one coming up at 5 p.m. on the 1950D roll. This little guy right here. Oh, that one right there. 1950D roll. When I do that, when I get finished with that roll reveal, I'll be going through and attributing all the coins in all of the packages and making sure that everyone gets their nice, snug, safe little package with coins fully attributed by yours truly. Or, if you chose to go with a monthly shipping plan, they'll go in a box marked with your name until the end of the month. David, I'm going to get your package out today. I had a bunch of extra stuff I wanted to put in it for you. Coin Dragon just found 53 SRPM number 4 in his recheck pile. How could you miss a number 4? Isn't that a really nice one? You can't miss a number 4. You caught it. Majestic Sounds of Coins. I would like to see me open a 55 roll, but I do not have a 1955 roll to open. I have probably 6 or 7 1955 rolls, but all of my 55 rolls are tubed. I haven't seen an original 1955 roll in a couple of years now. Although I am out there, I've got my ear to the ground, and I'm looking for any of the nice stuff to come out of those. I've got a bunch of different people looking for me to try to find original rolls from 1935 up through 1955. See you later, North Colorado Silver. Have yourself a wonderful day. You want to come do a sweep of my desk, Coin Dragon? I'll give you directions. Captain Kangaroo. What's about Captain Kangaroo? 'Cause I remember Captain Kangaroo. I remember Bill Cosby doing his picture pages on there. I'll see you at 5, Wild Bill. I'll see everybody else at 5, too. I'm going to take off now, get some of my work done for the day, and then I will be back at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 2 p.m. Pacific. And then we will have, at 8 p.m. on Paula Bloom's channel, we will have the live Q&A. Daniel Malone will be there. We'll be doing a live Q&A tonight. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. See you guys later.